I'm going to show you two ways to use Photoscape to create social media images. The first way is creating individual images, which I will show you inside of the editor. And the second way is using the batch editor to create multiple images. And we'll be making multiple Pinterest images for that one. Let me go over to the viewer. All of the images that I'm using today I got from Pexels and from unsplash.com, so you can find all of these images for free and commercial use on those two websites. And I'll also have the links to all of these on my website as well. So let's go ahead and start here with the editor. We're going to do an Instagram image first, and I'm just going to choose an image. I'm just going to grab this and put it out here. Now we know that an Instagram image is 1:1 ratio, and we know that the best size is 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. So what we're going to do is just get the dimensions right. So the first thing we're going to do here is go to the crop tool, and we're going to choose from all of the dimensions that or the ratios that they give you here. We're choosing 1:1. And then once you have that selected, you can drag inside of the image to let it know what it is that you want it to crop. So I'm going to crop it. I'm going to crop out this center area. This is going to be our image, and you can move it around as much as you need to get the area that you want. So I want this to be my focal point, so I'll just kind of leave that right there. And then I'm just going to choose crop down here. So now I have this new image. If you come down to the bottom, you'll see that it's 3613 by 3613. Still too big to put on Instagram. So we're going to come over to resize, change the width and height to 1080. And that automatically changed because I had the preserve aspect ratio checked. Our width and height are going to be 1080 by 1080. And I'm going to click apply. And now you can see down here that my image is 1080 by 1080. This is the perfect size for an Instagram feed image. Instagram stories, that's going to be something different, but if you're looking to create images for the feed, this is going to be the correct dimension for you. Now there are other things that you can do to this image, like adding text, adding hashtags. I'm going to go ahead and add some branding to it. So I'm going to come up to insert. And if you watch my Photoscape X full tutorial, it's going to show you what you can do with all of this stuff that's up here. So it's going to be more in depth, and it'll give you a better understanding of this program and everything that it can do. Here, I just want to show you how to get the correct dimensions and how to use this for social media images. I'm going to add just a little bit of branding to this. I already have my logo here, so you can do one of two things. You can add your logo to your folder and then just drag it over, resize it, put it in the corner or wherever it is that you want it. Or you can, let me get rid of this, or you can come up to image and then navigate to wherever your image is. And I'm just going to use this, open it, and you can add it that way. So you don't actually have to add all of your branding into your folder. It just made it easier for me to do it that way. Resize it, and again, put it somewhere in the corner. If you'd rather not use branding, or if you'd like to put your website name here or a hashtag or really anything, any type of text that you want to put there, just come over to the text tool, and we can put this down here at the bottom. Add your information there, and then right here you're going to have everything that's installed on your computer. You're going to have available to you here. So it's not like using Canva where you have to use what they give you. All of your fonts are here, so you won't have a problem with the branding and all of that. So I'm just going to use a basic if you're using your brand fonts. So I'm going to use this one, Montserrat, and I'm going to bring down this font pretty small. So about there is fine. You can add patterns and gradients in these two sections, and again, my other video will show you all about that stuff. You can change the color if you like, maybe a lighter gray color rather than solid black. So, or you can just change the opacity if you want it to look more like a watermark. Just remove the logo. So you can do something like this. You can add your hashtags, like I said, any type of text that you need to put on your images. You can also add stickers, shapes, tons of shapes and different things like that. So you can come over to color and add, change color, do everything that you need here. And then you also have all of these preset filters. These you have to pay for the actual program to get, but you can easily make these on your own just by using the edit and color options that they have here in Photoscape. And then of course you have arrows, lines, and other shapes here. So once you have everything the way you want it, you can just come over to save. It's going to save it as a JPEG, but if you would prefer to save it as a different type of file, then you come over to save as, and then you'll just choose right here. Let's go ahead and show you how to use the batch editor to create Pinterest images. I wanted to show you how to make Pinterest images with the batch editor. If you've worked with Pinterest or you're familiar with how Pinterest works, then you know that you need at least 3, 4, even 5 different images. It's not enough just to create one and slap it up there on Pinterest. You need a lot more going on there for that. So that's where this batch editor comes in very handy. So I'm going to take all of these images and just drag them over into my batch editor. We're not going to go to crop first. We're going to go to resize. Size is pretty big, 57, 36 by 38, 24. That's not going to work for Pinterest. You need something that's 2 by 3. I'm going to go ahead and come down to this last one right here and change the dimensions of this. Now it's going to crop it, so some of this is not going to show up. So I'm going to go for 735 width by 1102 height. And we can take a look at what all of our images are going to look like. Okay, so they seem to be okay. This one's almost, there's nothing there. So let's see what cropping can do. So maybe we'll bring it in a little bit. I'm gonna try 1000. Okay, that looks good. The only drawback to the batch editor is that whatever I did to this image, I'm gonna do to all of them. So I have to go back and make sure that everything looks good with the changes that I just made, and it does. We'll go ahead and move forward. In the batch editor, the one thing that's a little bit different than what you would see in the regular editor is that you don't have, let's go back to the regular editor, you don't have all of this stuff available to you here in the batch editor. We're going to add them in these areas right here. Everything is still here, it's just set up a little bit differently here. Now in the insert area is the one that we're typically going to use the most. This is where text, other images, and shapes come in. We're going to go ahead and add a background. So just a basic square is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to drag it over. My text is going to lay on this so that I don't have, let me put it up here, so that I don't have a problem with people being able to read the text. The text for this is going to be very, very important. So we'll just go ahead and add that. And of course you can change colors, patterns, do all of this stuff. I wouldn't recommend it if it's going behind text to have patterns and all of these complicated gradients going on. Try to stick to just colors. I'm going to bring the color down. And then I'm going to come back and go to the little plus sign again. I'm going to add some text. So we'll bring the text up here over that background that I just created. Okay, so obviously this is going to be too big. We're going to change our font size. For Pinterest, you do want your text to be pretty big, but what I want to do right now is just be able to see what my text looks like, make sure that I spelled everything correctly. Like I can tell right here, obviously I didn't spell that correctly, so I can go back and then, you know, put them on separate lines and do all of that stuff. And then resize this. I'll come back and add that there just so that you can see the text and that it's very clear and has good contrast. That's going to be extremely important on Pinterest. And then you can go back and see what it looks like on each one of your images. This one doesn't look very good for this one. There's just no way to fix this without ruining what we've got going on some of the other ones. So these all look pretty good. I would say we would remove this one. We'll use that for something else. Maybe add one of our other ones in here. Couple of these, and then you can just go through them, and if one is just not going to work, like this one is still a little iffy, but you can see the image there. Maybe if you add something here, it's going to look a lot better, but again, that's going to depend on the rest of the images. So I typically start out with a lot of different images that I'd like to use, and then just see what works and what doesn't, and remove them as needed. For this, I think all of the images that we chose work pretty well. The next thing that we can do is add branding to this. I'm not going to be able to grab this and just drop it over here. I'm actually going to have to add it in as an image, because all it's going to do when I do this is add it to my images up here. So that's not what we want. So what I'm going to do is just the plus, go to images, and grab that, I believe it was this one, and then add it in here. It's going to add it to all of my images. So I can put that there, maybe add another shape. Let's add a circle in here, and we'll move it backward. So you have options here to move them backward as well. So I'm going to move that behind the text and everything else. Let's try adding an outline to it. Make it a little bit thicker. Maybe move this around to get it, make sure that it's in the center. And you have these blue lines. If you move them, they'll show you exactly where the center points are. So ours is going to be right here. We can move this over to that same center point just to make sure that we have everything where it needs to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another background for my text down here at the bottom. Get rid of that outline and just bring this down to the bottom. Now I can add more text. This text is just going to be my website, and I'm going to bring that down to 40. Change the font here as well. Go back to that mozzarella font that I like to use. Bring it down to 30. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I have this in the right place. Okay, so now if I go to all of these different images, you'll see that they all have the picture, they all have the logo, the website, all of that information is going to be exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is our image. So this one is not looking too good. I will probably remove that one from this batch, and then just come, take a look at all the others. So everything else seems pretty good. Let me show you one other thing that's pretty popular on Pinterest, and that would be adding an incentive to click. Basically a call to action or some other type of incentive, like a preview of a freebie or something like that. So we can add a preview of something that we're giving away for free with this pretty easily. We're just going to come back here and add another image, and I'm going to grab, let's see, we're going to go outside of examples. And this is actually a project that I'm working on. So I'm going to grab this screenshot. I'm going to go ahead and add that here and add a drop shadow to it, so it looks more like a piece of paper. So basically a little mock-up that we have going on here. And then we can come back and add some more text, just telling people to get this free thing. So we have about 8 images that we can choose from here to create a circulation inside of Pinterest for this blog post that we want to send people to, or this thing that we're trying to get people to look at. Okay, so once we're happy with everything that we have up there, we can come over to save. Right here you have options for the type of file that you want to save. You can choose where you want to save them, and if you have a prefix for all these, so maybe just so that we know which ones are created for the pins. And then we're just going to click OK. Now we can ask it to show it to us in the Finder. So you can see that we have all of those images created and ready to be pinned. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and visit prettywebz.com for more design resources for your blog and business. Until next time, thanks for watching.